Hey, have you ever heard of Sober October? Well, I'm Earl, and welcome to my Sober Lens. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Recently, I got something in the mail that talked about doing this Sober October challenge, so I had to look into it because I don't really know much about it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat a little bit here and use the AI function of what I looked up online just to talk about it. Now, and by the way, I know that I talk a lot about myself in these videos. When I watch them back, sometimes I get a little cringe because I am talking about myself a lot. However, what I'm trying to do is just share my experience in this recovery thing. I don't like to tell anybody what to do. Who am I to say anything like that? It's just my experience, and in hopes that maybe that can help you. So let's get started. The Sober October Challenge apparently is a health and wellness challenge where participants abstain from alcohol for an entire month. Go figure. All right. But the event originated in 2014 as a fundraiser in the UK based Macmillan Cancer Support, and has since evolved into a popular movement focused personal well-being. I apologize for looking down at this, and I'm going to try to talk to the camera as much as possible. Now, the next thing it talks about is the benefits of Sober October. So I figure this is a good part of where I can tell you at least the benefits that I've seen from my recovery. First thing it talks about is improved sleep. Alcohol disrupts sleep cycles, but a month of sobriety can lead to a more restorative and energetic night's rest. Yes, I think there's a lot of sugars in alcohol, and I used to wake up in the middle of the night and I would just never get really good night's sleep. However, I still struggle sometimes sleeping well. Maybe it's because I'm getting older also. I have to limit my caffeine before a certain time of the day, but I do sleep better than I did in the past. It's nice to wake up without a hangover and feeling good, right? And feeling ready to tackle the day. The next benefit it talks about is physical health. Removing alcohol from your diet can improve your liver function, lower blood pressure, and reduce your risk for certain cancers, and potentially lead to weight loss. All right, a few of those for sure. When I went into treatment, my liver and blood pressure was all like, I was on medicine for blood pressure, and my liver, the test they would do, it wasn't good. It was really good, really bad. And by the end of my 30 days, my liver was almost back to normal. The enzymes were like really off. And then my blood pressure, I didn't need to take medicine for blood pressure, I think within 90 days of being sober. So yes, definitely. And weight loss, right? There's a lot of sugars in alcohol, right? Like I just said. But however, for me, I also started eating a lot more candy and ice cream, so I didn't lose as much weight until I started taking care of myself. However, don't over replace the alcohol with other sugars. All right, next one it talks about is better skin. As a diuretic, alcohol can dehydrate the skin, increase inflammation. Abstaining from alcohol can lead to clearer, hydrated skin. One thing I did notice for sure after being sober for a little bit is the puffiness in my face went away. When I look at some old pictures, I definitely look a little more bloated, right? And at least in the face, and that helped. I think my skin has gotten a little better. I've been told it's pretty good, so I'll take that. I definitely feel like I can be hydrated. So there's a benefit, and you can have. All right, next benefit is increased energy and mood. Yes, it talks about giving your body a break from alcohol can lead to more increased energy, better concentration, and a more stable mood. The more stable mood is key for sure for me. I would get these highs and lows, on alcohol, and then off alcohol, a high and low. Nowadays, I stay a bit more even keel. I talk about a fuse a lot for getting angry, or temper, anything like that. My fuse is a lot longer nowadays than it used to be, and that's with anything. A lot of things I take. If I take like cold medicine or things like that, my fuse gets shorter. I realize I could tolerate and deal with my emotions a lot better with nowadays in recovery, due to my mood, and it's pretty consistent. I'm not like, what am I going to feel like today? But I still, like I said, have emotions and feelings, and it's just easier to deal with them. Now, so I would definitely agree with that. I think a lot of people around me appreciate the stable mood. Definitely more energy. There's a lot of things I can get done in one day. I used to crash pretty soon, or to be honest, hair of the dog, right? And at times, not all the time, but sometimes that would help. But yeah, the energy I have throughout the day is pretty, again, even. Like I don't wake up feeling awful, and throughout the day I just, yeah, like I said, just have a level energy, and I can exercise a lot more. It's a lot easier to exercise when I'm not hungover and dehydrated and just, yeah. All right. Then the last benefit it talks about is financial savings. I've actually talked about in another video before. There's a lot of money that has been saved by not drinking. I mean, and that's just alone in the house. I mean, when you go out nowadays, drinks are expensive. I mean, they always kind of are, and especially if you drink like vodka, like me, and not the cheap stuff. At least middle line. Yeah, it adds up after a while. And I think I've said before that I've probably saved enough to buy a new car, right? Or I shouldn't say I saved. I haven't, the amount that I would have spent is probably comparable to a fairly inexpensive car, let's put it that way. But a new one, but inexpensive. Okay, we'll go through a little more AI talks about here is tips for successful sober October. Successful. Plan ahead. So identify social events in October and decide on non-alcoholic alternatives. Beforehand, consider an offer to be a designated driver. For me, early on in sobriety, I don't think I would. I have to make sure I needed to go to the event or wanted to go to the event because it was a lot tougher. But in my recovery, there's a lot more that can go wrong if I slip. Now, if you're just doing this, if you decide to do the Sober October challenge, chances are if you're a normal person, you're not going to ruin your life by having a drink or two. For me, it's one drink leads to 2 drinks and 2 might lead to 20. I don't know. I don't want to find out though. Consider being a designated driver. I never really enjoyed that because in the past I would try to be a good boy, right? And sometimes it was tough for me to be in a place where I knew I couldn't drink but wanted to, and I sometimes didn't trust myself to be the designated driver because I was afraid of. I probably would just not go. Like nowadays, I just have to make sure I have a reason. That being said, my first year of sobriety, so this would be my 6th consecutive sober October, right? But my first year of sobriety in October is my birthday, and I wasn't even 6 months sober yet, and I was turning 40. Now that was a time I could have celebrated, and thanks to the support I had, I made it through. But it was one of those things like, hey, I only turned 40 once, I could definitely have one. And like I said, that could turn into 2 and then into 2. Who knows? Anyway, let's move on to the next one here. Communicate your goals. Inform friends and family about your challenge. This can not only give you extra accountability, but also encourage others to try mindful drinking. Yeah, I mean, it's helpful, especially if you have a supportive family and supportive friends that, hey, they know that you're trying not to drink and you're just doing this challenge. I think if you have a problem, your family and friends might say something. Be really happy you're not drinking. But yeah, and it might encourage others to try mindful drinking too. That's on a case by case, family by family, person by person basis. Who knows? I mean, you guys could just have normal friends who just have a couple drinks and they're fine. Like I said, I don't like to push my opinions and things on anyone else, so I wouldn't say, hey, you need to try mindful drinking. But if it's a lead by example type of thing, that's cool. Next one is explore new activities. Fill the time you would normally spend drinking with healthier habits. Try a new hobby, exercise, meditate, or tackle a home project. Like said earlier, and I definitely have a lot more energy, and there's a lot more time. You can, like if you go out to lunch or happy hours, usually, for me, the day might not, I might not be doing too much else the rest of the day. And there's certain hobbies that are easier to try when you're feeling good. So yeah, I mean, this would be a good time if you do a challenge and to try something new. I don't disagree with that. It's up to you, The next one is discover new drinks, experiment with mocktails, non-alcoholic beverages, non-alcoholic beers, sparkling water. I was never much of a beer drinker at the end. I used to drink beer when I was younger, but I didn't really drink much beer at the end. So non-alcoholic beer doesn't sound that good to me anyway. However, I have had some good flavorful mocktails. There's a ginger mojito mocktail at a restaurant I go to that I really like, and that's good. But you got to be careful if you have an issue. Sometimes if it tastes too close to what you like, it could lead to a slip. If you don't have a problem, go ahead, try something different there, and it can be fun. And there's a lot of things out there nowadays to do, to try. So track your progress. Use a journal or trapping app to monitor changes in your energy levels, sleep, and mood. Note any specific challenges or successes. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with tracking your progress. I never really have done this. I did journal at first a little bit, but I think if you're doing a challenge, it's definitely helpful. And then, hey, you can make a video about it. But no, seriously, yeah, it's good to know, because what has changed from day 1 to 30, especially if you're kind of not sure about how much alcohol may affect you. Right? Could learn something about yourself. Seek support. Engage in an online community or a group of friends who are also doing the challenge. Having support from others can be highly motivating. That's right. Seek support. I'm here. You can watch my channel. Support. Huge. I would not have made it where I am right now without support. Have sober friends you can talk to. Seriously, that's, I think with anything, having support and being open, not afraid to be vulnerable, wow, it can really open up a new life. And no, don't be I don't want to do anything alone. Like it's, I think it's easier not to do it alone. So that's what I'll finish on that. And then consult a doctor if necessary. For those who are heavy drinkers, quitting cold turkey can be dangerous. It's best consult with a medical professional. Yeah, I mean, if you're a heavy drinker or worse, they have something called DTs, delirium tremens. Yeah, and those aren't fun. Or detoxing can be dangerous. So, be careful of that if you are heavy. If for a normal person, I don't think you have to worry about that. However, if you, I guess, really wanted to track your progress with a doctor, you could, before and after blood test. I'm not even sure if that's an option or not, but it says if necessary. So that's if necessary. Well, what do you think? Have you ever heard of Sober October before? Is that a challenge you want to do? In the past, for me, that would have been a tough challenge for sure, because hockey season starts in October. Like I said, my birthday's in October. You got Halloween. There's other things. Any reason, right, to not do it. But it would have been tough in the past to do a whole October that way. Yeah, if you feel like doing it, do it, right? I'm here to support if you decide to. And with that being said, yeah, I don't think I have much more to say about it. It's cool to hear about it, that there's something called Sober October. And I don't think it's a bad thing, but it's personal choice. So, yeah, let me know if you decide you might do that challenge. I've got a few days till October. And of course, October is a 31-day month, right? Go figure, right? So, but if I could do it, you could do it. All right, thanks for watching. Till next time. Later. Check you later.